All right, Nancy.
Hey, John, first of all, thank you very much for doing these. I watch every week and really get a lot of value out of them. I work with a lot of small companies, and we try to apply all the SEO best practices, that Google lays out for us. It's a little harder to do some of the fancier, back-end code kind of things. I'm more of a content writer and SEO than a digital code guru. How can I help these sites to rank well when they're competing against these big enterprise organizations that have a lot of resources and money and people to throw behind their SEO and tend to rank higher because they are enterprise corporations? Do you have any advice?
Yeah, I think that's super hard. So
just give up.
No. But I think small companies have a lot of advantages, especially online in that area, because it's a lot easier for them to kind of shift and to move quickly compared to large companies. So I see that at least within Google, where when we come up with a really cool idea that we should implement in Search Console, it's going to take like 1 or 2 years until we get there. Whereas external SEO tools, when they come up with the same idea, they'll be like, oh, I'll just do this like next week and it'll be done. So I think as a small company, you kind of have that advantage of being able to move quickly when something shifts in the ecosystem, when some new trends come up, when something, significantly changes, you can move really quickly and you can be visible like that essentially immediately in search. Whereas with large companies, sure, they have a lot of power and it's like a strong brand and all of that, but they can't move as quickly. And that, I think, is kind of one of the advantages with a small company. The other, I think, is something where, as a small company, sometimes it makes sense to be active in areas that are just not interesting for large companies, where you kind of have the ability to focus on a smaller segment of the market and kind of do something really unique there, which the larger companies will say, oh, it's like so much work to actually get that set up and to kind of prioritize that. And then it's only like a $5 million business. Like, what are we going to do with all of that small change? And as a small company, you're like, whoa, it's like a couple $1 million. That's fantastic, right? So that's something where I also see, especially small companies, kind of have the ability, especially online, to focus on these small areas and say, well, we'll do something really unique here. And maybe if it picks up, a really large company will also do something similar in a couple of years down the line. But like, we have that kind of headway at least and can kind of move ahead of all of these big companies during that time.
Okay, thank you. Can you give me an example of that? Like what you mean by do something really unique? Like, yeah.
I don't know. I kind of always struggle to find explicit examples that we can mention there, but I see it, for example, with SEO tools, because like I work together with the Search Console team, and it is something where a lot of the external, or non-Google SEO tools essentially have the ability to kind of do things in ways that wouldn't really be possible on Google's side, be it for policy or legal reasons or whatever. And I think that gives these tool providers a little bit of a kind of a heads up, even in a market where, Google is like this giant corporation and they're even offering it for free, but yet all of these small SEO tool companies or smaller SEO tool companies still have a chance to kind of grow a significant user base, which is relevant for them. So, that's not something that I imagine the average small business would be creating SEO tools, but it's like one of those areas where I tend to see that happening.
Thank you.
Sure.